July 2025 regular meeting of the Clemson Board of Architectural Review. My name is Todd Howard and I serve as the chairperson of this meeting. The other members in attendance today will now introduce themselves.
Nathan Shop,
Hunter Hanahan,
Pete Matsko,
Andrew Neptune,
Christine Tedesco.
the Clemson Planning and Codes Office staff member in attendance is Jacob Peabody. The recording secretary of this meeting is Rebecca Wilbanks. BAR members are appointed by the Clemson City Council. The BAR's responsibilities focus on the design aspects of projects located within one of the 5 architectural overlay districts in the city of Clemson. A copy of the agenda for this meeting can be found in the outside lobby. If you are a member of the public and would like to speak regarding a matter on this agenda, you will need to read and sign the speaker's form. Back of the speaker sign-in form is a list of things that fall within the purview of the BAR and a list of things that don't. You will be asked for the signed form should you choose to speak. Anyone speaking will be required to stand at the podium and there will be no speaking from the audience. The meeting will be conducted in the following manner. For each agenda item, the BAR will hear a report from planning staff. Then after the staff report, the applicant will be given an opportunity to present their application and state that it complies with the relevant criteria. Any resident or owner of a business or operating Clemson is allowed to comment on the application and provide feedback to the BAR at each review stage. Speakers will be given 2 minutes to provide comment and feedback. Bless you. Please consider appointing a spokesperson if there are multiple people wishing to speak. Please do not repeat information already presented by someone else. Questions asked by the board during presentation will not count toward the time limit. At its discretion, the board may allow the applicant 3 minutes for rebuttal. All comments and questions must be directed to the chairperson who will respond, direct the question to the appropriate party for a response. Any comments by the planning office have been submitted to the BAR and we consider it in its decision. After all comments are offered, the chairperson will close the hearing portion of the meeting and the BAR will discuss and evaluate information presented in the context of the requirements of the city code. We ask that you please turn off all cell phones or place them in silent mode. As a reminder, to please avoid side conversations and cross talk. Again, welcome to the meeting. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to start with first adopting the minutes from way back in April. They looked good to me. So I think there was nothing that I noticed that needed to be changed in any way. So is there anybody willing to make a motion that we adopt April minutes? Okay. All those in favor of adopting the minutes from April, please raise your hand. Okay, minutes are adopted. Okay, action item tonight is a building 2025 AR04 applicant Robert Knight. Here's requesting a preliminary review of renovation of an existing grocery store at 501 Old Greenville Highway. And so first we'll hear from Jacob.
The application is for the gas station in front of the grocery store. The property is CB2 and is in AR District 5. The application meets all minimum standards for zoning and city staff has no objections to the application opposed.
If you state your name and address first, please speak.
Yeah, Justin Besser, Kimberly Warren, live at 110 Century Drive, Trumbull, Carolina. Yeah, that's a foreign here for the project. There's a concern. Like I said, you're talking about the existing grocery store. This will be a grocery store, which is 3,000 square feet. Here's a retail. We're putting this full size LEDs. There's a 20 square foot kiosk where there's an LED sign to move the gas. There's nice room that are around the building here. Back around this small area. It can be 56 hall. This is their small wing. We go in the building as a LED. There is a restroom in the rear of it. With the architecture of our building, the brick of the kiosk here will match exactly what we're going to upgrade the grocery store to. Additionally, with the kiosk here, we also is the same black easy that will be most for the grocery store as well. As you see, there's a little bit of redness, there's university red, and match on the signage of the property as well. Here answer questions you guys have regarding the architecture of the fuel station.
And when it comes to signs, that's going to be the other side. Okay, final review, so everything except the signage.
but if you look at the picture, it looks like a bunch of little signs there with this
It's just a red. It's just like
Building, some of the brick.
There's on the bottom. I'm looking at that face. There you go. Yeah. That's not right. That's not the right face.
No,
that's speckled.
No, this speckled?
No, it seems a little. This is the side of the brick. The brick that's stone.
we'll have to do them check.
Yeah, so it's all the same. Yeah, it's flashing. Feels like the antique brick.
That's right. That's
It's like a brick of the old.
And that's what you put in.
That'll be on the kiosk. It'll be on the basic grocery store. It's also part of the elevator.
I think it's just, it's a bad graphic.
Yeah. You can see the kiosk right here. Yeah.
Okay.
On that corner, is it with this?
Yes.
I have a question. I was out of town for the lighting. Are you renovating the big sign that is at the end?
Can't determine what we're going to do with the sign yet. I know that it's a monument sign, but we haven't looked at what we're going to fully do with the signage of that. We should have an application for you guys.
And guess we need to, lighting, right?
So, the question is, OG brick the same thing, brick? You have OG band going around.
So bricker.
You know, like a gas pump, like gas station, an OG state brick cloud. That is the same Phoenix brick that is state used.
Gas pump.
On the building. That band, it's that band, yes, correct.
so 3 feet up or so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So will you be using a, I'm guessing for the display you just brought, then you are using a timber on that? How are you going to corners?
These are fat buildings that are done in big shop builders, brought them
Okay.
in shop and literally bring it and place it on the foundations. Outside.
So when you see
So you'll
this,
see us in the corner. Kind of 7-Eleven, something like that, I think. Broke all the lake.
Well, there's probably a control point down that's not shown.
It's all in the corner, sorry, it's all corner.
Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you guys, as far as the electrical, on the side of the building, you're gonna paint it, match the brick, what color are they planning on that? You let us know.
We can it matches the brick if that is
Yeah.
what is required.
It's usually how they
Yeah,
do it.
it's typically very, yeah. There's a-
And then, in terms of the light around the gas station, will it be, I assume,
We have shown the full canopy lighting on this plan, the roof plan, we're gonna show the full trying update with the wall out here, so if we need to return back with the signage, we can bring back the canopy lighting as well, so you guys can see what canopy.
we can improve the lighting with the signage?
That's fine.
Okay.
You can say, I would just say it's part of your shirt saying lighting, lighting and sign that we really.
You would use more fuels that we're looking at, there's a lot of utilities on site that we're looking at. As the whole bylaw is built, very comfortable.
Something you mentioned about the trash enclosure.
Yes, they do, they update plans to show what actually clears them. Okay.
There's standard enclosures, it will around it, very small.
Back side of the kiosk, there's a metal, so of course there's a band of metal, C4 metal, instead of brick. One left drawing right there. Why is it continuous where it's, you have all the other side, there's the metal?
I think we've gone through different architectures in different areas where some people would prefer to see a black band there, it's kind of match the canopy, or maybe so.
I mean, it's showing taking out 3 dimensions from the other side, it's shown.
It could be that is the downside, I believe.
Oh, it's just down.
Yeah. There's 2,000 back, that's a great shot, that's not huge.
So one version, you have the black band around the whole thing, or you just, okay.
Yeah, see what you want continuity there, bricks in this.
In the corner, at the glass corner, remember, still being in the corner?
They should know more as well.
Okay. Oh, I mean, the corner has the lights, the downside runs the whole length of it, it's brown color.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the big of the level well, because we can match it as well, or the top of the become black.
And we have air conditioning unit sits.
Right back, I guess.
And an actual post above the canopy, which kind of, will it be treated like paint, or will
We show it.
it, could it be kind of grayish color?
I believe it's grayish, whitish.
On the second one, to the right of the post, in the island, there is a set of 2 things.
Main cages.
That be located behind, like, I'm trying to think of,
Moving to an alternative by the 80th.
I'd say if they move away from the street, far side, that would just help handle clutter. And then on this, I know the fuel tanks are shown in that front, there's a box on the north side, or the south side of that, the fuel tanks, type of label, what is that?
That's act for the back of the tanks.
I assume the landscape will come later as well.
Yeah, it's there.
So join the illumination for trees and stuff that'll be replaced for the site here.
Now, could you screen those stuff on the street?
That's all right there, right?
It's right now, correct, yes. You can see today it is overgrown shrubs and trees out there today.
Evergreen, it's pretty nasty.
It doesn't look like you're modifying the exit, not the traffic light control exit, the other exit of 220, or not at 93. There's no modification of that exit.
Middle or back one, sorry.
Oh,
We have 3, so we have the light, middle, and the rear. Middle. So middle one, we are working through discussions that TBD, that access will be updated slightly to align the road across the street.
Yeah.
So,
why it's not at a 45 degree angle?
that would be that's existing today.
Okay.
We have been in negotiations and it's been, TIA had just conversations with SVDOT. So they're going to get something just a couple line of traffic, make sure that there's full movement, and then the rear access will also be as well, and we'll have a massive park island. So it'll limit people to left there, but at the main entry for all the green trucks.
The face on the building on the left, do you have a drive-through like or pharmacy or?
The left of the grocery store?
Yes.
Yes, we have seen it.
Do you meet your parking requirements?
Yes, we still.
I'm really happy to see that space. But conversions, it's been how long?
Real quickly, just aesthetically, I want to revisit the front of the gas station with the landscape buffer. Can you just walk me through that so I can picture that better in terms of that's what's right on the street?
Yeah, we're going to take a lot of tree shrubs. What we're going to do is just add in kind of what's existing kind of down the street. So there's a little bit of trees in the front area. Just kind of what we do is we're hitting power line right along that frontage there. So we're very limited to how big trees we can put there, as the power company's not going to go super tall and have very large trees. They're going to be understory trees we're proposing to put there.
And the venting, what?
I think we could put some shrubbery around that as well, just to catch the road. We also look at renovations for it as well.
How about those stick up? Sorry. No, that's
560.
where if you moved it, where would it go?
We could move more like left side of tanks. Typically, they not move far. We had some particular requests that, but I think they are close to tanks, but we just had screening around.
Over next to the endpoint light that we're talking
Yeah,
about?
I can move it in the corner. Be mindful of the grades for this week. The road does a little bit higher than set the fuel source just a little lower, so it's harder to see from that as well.
Oh. So all the street front planting is used along a secondary street. You know, you have to, there's the street, what I call it the left street. New street.
Yes.
New street, yes. So all of your landscaping between the trees is used there. Part of what would be nice is, for the canopies, use the, you're using overtops in that area?
That's what we're proposing is right now.
Under the power line?
Yes, that's an understory tree.
You want to overcoat, it's not an understory tree.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, it's still an oak, it's still, we put it on a regular basis. So, because the dogwood, when you have right down the street, you're right under the power line, that would be like a single tree you have in that area. There's not really a way to put oak trees. But what I was saying is, like, for example, and then you go back to the right just a little. So if you see, that was too much. Halfway. There you go. So we have a layer there, you know, just ignore that. And then you have a gap where all the trunk there, and then you have your layer of the trees. If you have the same thing, where you just have grass there. So really, you're blocking the majority of the canopy with like coups and dogwoods, which would be nice. Like we could sort of help screen that bottom layer. Even a shrub gets 4 feet tall or so, that would be helpful. And that way, basically, all the shrubs you have over on New Street, if you can transition over to the front, then you're creating a nice view profile. People are looking at the gas station. But we're just
We can certainly
So mimicking this section over here.
that long whole front. Doesn't make it, or you have over in the retail as well.
no, I mean, the retail is the public's going to be less offended by seeing retail than they're going to be by seeing a gas station. So I'd say at least the gas station would be nice to have it consistent along the whole way. But because you have, not you, because I think you did it personally, the VL evergreen shrub symbol for the viburnum. They are like a 60-foot side shrub, and you have sometimes 12 of them in small space within an island. That's, you know, they're going at 24 inches, where in a situation like that, you're probably looking for something that's maxed out at 24 inches. Otherwise, they're going to be able to melt up people. So I would look at that section there. And the variety used is a thumping variety and not a spring variety. So there is, if you're wanting it to spread it down, then a different plant. So
Which one initially, the spreading versus the clumping?
There you go. Remember those are oaks at 12 feet. So you know what it's going to do.
Yeah, they're not going to quality coverage. As I'm not surprised that they're still up today, as the big difference from the lines.
Would you like me to read through what we're going to discuss over? So we talked about separately making sure that when we look at signage, also the lighting. We talked about possibly the opening tank being moved to behind the gas station, major brick on the building, especially on the backside. We talked about the venting, possibly over to the left, over to the front three. Continue the pattern that's on Newton Street on the front three. And most specific about maybe reducing the leather leaf fiber. Is
Smaller. Size of a brick, every ratio.
there anything else? Yes, the utilities painted to match brick.
Right.
Only you're asking.
I mean, I'm not saying that's not what they want. I just want to make sure that if they're also the same. That's not saying it.
Yeah, you know, maybe you must explain to
We can get how much if they do the shrubs. We're asking between from 9 for number of the parking lot.
Do we have public input for this one? Is there any other questions, concerns, or? Okay. So would you like me to read out specifically everything and then I'll offer it up for a motion? Sure. Okay. So looking for a motion that approves the gas station design as presented with some modifications. So I'm going to go through the list of modifications. The first is the stipulation that when we look at the signage package, we're also looking at the lighting. And the modifications we're looking for are that utilities get painted to match the brick. That the brick is all the way around the building to all sides. That the propane tanks be moved from the proposed location to behind the gas station. That the vent stacks get moved off to the left onto the Newton buffer zone area and be screened by vegetation. That we replace those viburnum with something smaller. That will IP just to make sure to achieve the goal. And is there anything else that I've missed? I think that's it, correct? Okay, is there anybody like to make that motion? I'd like to second the motion. All in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's see here. Staff roles.
I know staff report.
Okay, and then what other business, I just wanted to bring up our desire to be involved in the P process. So, like I said, like, identify the letter to be on the specific, but I can't see precedent. Now, once again, I have not exhausted all of research abilities. Might look on another municipality looking into, but I can't see any literature that speaks to the VR having any, having any approval
Well, you can, it can be in the PD, you guys have approval, after PD is approved, you guys have approved the building.
Okay.
So like, that can be written in, that the professional design or landscaping, whatever you want, I understand that, but PD has to approve for the zoning ordinance. And then BR by state law is reviewed against the zoning ordinance, so PD in this case.
So my two questions would be, one, say the PD is approved, goes for the AR, anything legally binding with a decision there, like normal?
I mean,
Like it doesn't meet our expectations? Is it still like a judicial
well, the
role?
PD has to kind of lay out where, you know, what is allowed and what's not. I mean, you guys don't decide what's allowed and what's not. You know, if you meet the standards, it's you guys are reviewing it, if they're meeting the standards or not, really.
So what else involves, it's a role in the front end?
That is a, to give your input. Yes.
As an advisor.
Is advisor, we've done in the past.
So this one would be involved in any state department review, post PD being approved by the council.
The one that approved, nothing approved, John Norris? No, I think that one has been in there, you'll have the ability to after PD. No, I'll just say there's a chain to it. No, there's one you guys do, the heroes like the exterior promoter, that's for you guys. Because yes, sure, we did have precedent.
So is the idea of the will be standard process for the AR to lower?
We don't know, we're gonna any planning after your input.
So I guess I'm trying to go on Dave's, like, the idea of being at the planning commission, like, desire, seems a little bit off of where we desire to play our role, correct? Like, the idea of the planning commission decides, they like our advice versus us asking to have a little more.
Definitely in the process. I mean, well, let's have to go to the commission for them to make a recommendation on your proposal.
So based on what I have written thus far, how do I need to amend it? I like the ideas of working at the advisory level, but also working at
I mean,
the,
you can ask for both, they'd like to be involved in the advisory level or the group, and to be codified that, you know, we are, that every PD or ever has a advisory time in front of us. I think the next one will. I think it's in their schedule, they're actually gonna go in for you guys, so there's a good chance when they're, just roll it.
No, I think earlier, that's where we run into problems, is, you know, late in the process, we're looking at design, and I was architect, I had input from the BAR early. That helps me tremendously get over here in the end, rather than, oh, I'm done, I have to go over the BAR thing. Yeah. That helps my work as an architect. So it's really advantageous to be in the front end and towards the end. It's just, it's really guidance. And it's good work.
Yeah. The other guys is that, like, you know, the frame, right now, like, I was gonna say, one that's going on in Cal, they have not gone to an architectural level, it's still the very, how big it's gonna be, how many units, parking spaces, all that, in the neighborhood.
Sure.
So it's, I think that as soon as they kind of have a good feeling from planning commission as to, is this thing 5-story, 9-story, you know?
Right.
they'll,
but see, that's where I think BAR can be a good advisory asset, because you speak to things, like you speak to maybe some moves.
Yeah, there's usually trade-offs, you
Like
know.
I'm looking at Dave's idea, you know, it makes sense to go higher areas if you're in larger buffer.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's things just not so black and white at, like zoning is more black and white. Like in this kind of gray area where we're looking at where the big moves are architecture that should be made. I think there's some expertise
Yeah, no, I
that
think-
would
Yeah,
be worth.
I think it's probably just retro, I think, I think that way it doesn't play when not even, that's kind of first, it's the final.
Which is what we did with the hub. Yeah, the BR was here, and the planning commission led, but we were here in an advisory role.
That's
To me,
how
that
that
makes
was
sense.
good.
And you see a post, when you look at the workman, that seemed like a healthy
Yeah, I agree,
dynamic.
yeah.
And you could ask that Garros that they would go, you know, maybe, somebody want to come, maybe, do you have off? Oh, here you go. If you could come in, I can walk you through the P process, how it works, and make your letter more clear to like process. So at this stage, we propose that goes for a so probably like the opening, you know, hearing from the planning commission, and then when they submit the second like round, where they just go both.
So if I reach out, okay. I don't want to, in my instance, I don't anybody feel pressure to take anybody's purview. That's why we have such expertise on this board that just benefit product in the end. Why not utilize it?
Yeah, I got the feeling from the planning commission, I felt like they were happy to have us there. So I don't feel like,
You know, PDs are heavy,
We also don't want to look like circumventing anything that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the topics of it. That, you know, obviously, that is always the staff wants to give it PD because no matter how transparent you are, it always comes across as developers trying to get more from the city. And people try to get, you know, it was perfectly done that way because it's always looking at full numbers.
Right.
So I mean, but clearly they are rough. That's it. So you guys opt in on it. Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a personal question. You know,
Yeah.
being that I live so close to that development, I would obviously have to recuse myself after the PD, but like as an advisor, like working advisory, would that also be something I would recuse?
I don't know, man. That's we have to talk about that. I mean, yeah, you probably if you feel like it could affect your.
how we all live here, and it's our town, you know, that's what it is.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, by
How would you make that
law,
development?
don't have future stuff.
Can you tell us a little bit about students? I don't know about it.
Okay, so one, the current PD in front of the planning commission is a student housing development, mixed use. You know, where Ryan Realty is right next to center, basically all the way through the corner there.
And jumping over.
Coming over,
to the ready frame.
like kind of looking development where the right frame is, that portion of my 9 So it's all making it one property right all that. And
It's March 1.
1 or 25. Yeah.
Now, the corner of that.
About a quarter mile from it.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah.
So then the and it's, you know, tall. It is, I think, 8 stories with a penthouse.
Yes.
700. Right? So there's a little bit of PD.
It is.
You did a great job.
Yeah, that's one of those.